Good morning, boys and girls. Today is Thursday, the 25th of February. First up, senior infants, you are going to correct yesterday's work in Over the Moon, page 85. So, first picture was of a barn. B-R-N. B-A-R-N. Next was a medal showing first place. First. F-I-R-S-T. Third was of a star. S-T-R-S-T-A-R. Fourth was of a jar. J-R-J-A-R. Next was of a harp, which is one of the symbols of Ireland. You'll see it on all of our coins. H-A-R-P. And this toast is burnt. B-R-N-T. B-U-R-N-T. Seventh was the park. P-R-K. P-A-R-K. And here was a birthday card. C-R-D. C-A-R-D. And finally we had the bird. B-R-D. B-I-R-D. And the sentence at the end was up to you. I would have corrected it in your Class Dojo portfolio. Today, boys and girls, you are going to be doing a bit of creative writing. Over the last 2 months, we have read many storybooks. Storybooks follow the pattern of your setting, build-up, problem, resolution, and ending. In your stories, there are different characters. There is the main character who the story is about, and then there's other characters who are either friends or family or enemies of your character. I want you today, boys and girls, to create and design your very own character. This could be an animal, it could be a person, it could be a fictional creature, it could be a superhero, whatever you want. I want you to think of your name for the character, what age they are, their eye color, and color it in here, their hair color, and color it in here, and think further about the hair. Do they have long hair, short hair, mid-length hair, spiky hair, straight hair, curly hair, wavy hair? It's up to you to show me in this picture. Here I want you to draw another picture of what they look like. Remember to show clearly their size. So are they tall or short? Are they fat or slim? In this box, I want you to tell me what your character likes to do. So for Tom, he liked to practice his hurling skills. For Fred the bear, he liked to compete in competitions in the woods. I want you to think about what it is that your character would like to do and what's the main thing that they would be doing in your story. Then I want you to create a friend for this character. So just like Tom had his friend Dara, who's the friend for your character? And again, include their eye color and hair color when you're coloring in the picture. I can't wait to see all your cool characters, boys and girls. So boys and girls, Today you are going to be finishing up your story, and you have written such wonderful parts so far. So today I want you to start by writing one paragraph for the ending of your story. Remember to include the main message of your story. Was it that your main character learned the value of friendship? Was it that they learned that practice makes perfect? Was it that they learned bravery can be a great thing sometimes? Or was it that they learned to chase after your dreams? So remember to include the main message of your story in your ending paragraph. Think about what did your character learn from the problem. That can help you understand your main message. Please remember to include your super sentence starters like many of you have, and your power of 3 adjectives. In the ending, it's very important to describe how your character feels, what emotions they're feeling at the end. And I'd love for you to challenge yourself by including an incredible idiom. These can be any of the idioms that you've seen in other stories, such as Becoming a Hurler, or Tom and the Estate Agent, or The Bear Who Lost His Gur. Once you have that done, I want you to check back over all of your story and read it out loud. See if it makes sense and try and spot out if there's any corrections you need to make. Check back on any feedback that I would have written to you on your Class Dojo portfolio. I'd really like you to spend time making sure you're very happy with your story, because on Monday next week we are going to start writing them up on the iPads to create our very own digital storybooks. So please put in the effort now so that we can go straight into our iPad work next week. So boys and girls, once again, here are some super sentence starters to help you write your ending paragraph, and you will be using any sentence starter from the red section. Again, here are some more adjectives to describe how your character is feeling, and please make sure that you're checking your spelling on any of these words that are on these word maps. When you're reading back over your story, a good strategy to use to help you is called COPS. And they're asking, are you going to be caught out? COPS stands for capital letter, organization, punctuation, and spelling. So C, capital letters. Check, have you started each sentence with a capital letter? Have you used a capital I for the word I? Do all of the proper nouns such as people's names, cities, countries, days of the week, months of the year, do they all have capital letters? Then O stands for organization. Have you spaced out your words clearly, making sure there's finger spaces? Have you finished all of your sentences? Sometimes it can happen that you start writing and then you just jump, and you might have it up in your head, but remember, the reader doesn't have it in their head. They need to see it written down there in paper. So just check back to make sure you've properly finished all your sentences. Have you checked that your writing makes sense? So again, this is why reading it out loud to a member of your family will help you see if it makes sense. Have you included all important details? Are there bits that I asked you to go back and include, maybe to help your reader understand your story a bit more? And have you set out your work in paragraphs, which a lot of you have, so well done. Remember, we can clearly show our paragraphs for our setting, build-up, problem, resolution, and conclusion by skipping a line between each part. Thirdly, P stands for punctuation. So that means, have you used a full stop at the end of your sentence? Have you used other types of punctuation? So that would be a question mark at the end of a question. I remember seeing that Alice included her exclamation mark at the end of a sentence when she couldn't find her book. Ashlyn was very good there as well for including her speech marks, her 66 and her 99 when somebody was speaking in her story. And Georgia was very good at including her commas after her super sentence starters. So they're all little parts of punctuation to watch out for. Finally then, I want you to check your S. S stands for spelling. So you don't need to use a dictionary to check your spelling. What I want you to do is check your tricky word lists and check the word mats that I would have had on our slides to help you. Ask a friend, maybe your mom or dad or an older brother or sister, can they spot any big spelling mistakes? Well done anyway, boys and girls. I just want to say that as well. I am really super impressed with how wonderful you have all been engaging in the writing process. You're really good, and I can't believe some of the stuff is written by children in first class. I'm blown away. So well done. Next up, boys and girls, in senior infants, it's time to correct yesterday's activity D in your spell well. So, crop matched with the third box, so it's K, R, A, P, C, R, O, P. Next was drag, and it matched to the last box, D, R, A, G, drag. And the word rag is inside drag. Next word was water. Water matches with our first box. Water is a tricky word because the A is making the aw sound. And we've got our bossy sound at the end. Finally, grip matches to the second box, and it's G-R-I-P, grip. The word rip is inside grip. Next up, I want you to do your spellings tonight, so let's sound them out together. S-E, see. This is I can see with my eye. I see the bee. Please underline your long E special friend made by the EE and pretend that you can see a bee. What type of word is that? It's a doing word, so color it red please. It's a verb. Next word, let's sound it out together. Remember to have your super speller fists ready to help you. From. I come from Limerick. That car came from across the road. I will run from 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock. From is a preposition. It tells you the place of something. So color it green, please. And finally, our tricky word, water. Water is a thing that you drink, so it's a noun. Color it yellow, please. When you have your tricky words practiced, move on to activity E. You have to read the sentences out loud and figure out which word from the list above makes the sentence make sense. So first one, Ben has a big sea. Does not make sense. Ben has a big water. Nope. Ben has a big crab. Well, it could make sense possibly. Ben has a big drum. Could make sense. Ben has a big grab. No. Ben has a big grip. No. Ben has a big crib. Possibly. But if I look at the picture, I can see that this is the boy Ben and he has a drum. D-R-U-M. And remember, boys and girls, once you've used a word from your word list, cross it out so that you know you don't have to use it again. Next up, boys and girls, in first class, it is time to correct yesterday's spell well activity. So you had to circle the mistake in the word and write the correct spelling. So face should have been A spelled with the CE, making this sound FACE. Next, the dog lay down beside the fire. So lay. AI does make the A sound, but when it comes at the end of the word, it's usually spelled with the AY. L-A-Y. The lion was trapped inside the cage. Well, we know that this week that the GE comes together at the end of the word to make the J sound. So it's C-A-G-E and not J-E. Let's have a race on our bikes once again. A spelled with the C-E. And the little seed grew into a huge tree. Grew is spelled G-R-E-W, grew, with the E-W making the oo sound at the end. And then it's time to sound out our spellings for tonight, so get your super speller fists ready. And let's go. B-E-S-T, best. I did my best. She was the best artist in the competition. What type of word is best, boys and girls? It's an adjective because it describes a person. But you can also describe an action by saying, I tried my best. So it's also an adverb. It's a describing word for a noun and a verb. So it's an adjective and an adverb. So will you colour it half blue for adjective and half orange for adverb, please? And here I know it's red, but I'm going to try and combine the two colours, red and yellow, to make orange. I don't know if that comes out too well, but orange, please. Next word, g-r-oo, and we did that sound a couple of weeks back. G-r-oo, grew. The seed grew into a plant in springtime. We've got our EW at the end of our word, which is making the oo sound, so that's our special friend to underline, please. And pretend you're a seed and you just grew and sprouted out of the ground. What type of word is that? It's a verb, so colour it red, please. Next one, lay. The AY is making the A sound. So underline your special friend and pretend that you lay down on your bed. Lay is a doing word, so it's a verb. Colour it red, please. And finally, I. The IE is making the I sound. I will lie on my bed. He is always telling lies. He will lie to you. It's a doing word because it's something that you do, and it can also be a noun. It can also be something that you say. So colour it half red and half yellow, please. Next up, boys and girls, I just want you to see if you can recite your poem all together and keep up with the child who's reciting it in this video. Remember to include your actions as you're reciting your poem. Inis buacailí agus cailíní tá sé an am don Gaeilge. Dús, I want you to listen to our video from yesterday. You'll be listening to this every day this week and be remembering the sounds and how to say the different sentences. Remember the first one was Bhí na páistí sa seomra sí. Then I want you to go and listen to our Irish poem of the month, Cúla Misha Éinín. In Irish this week, you have an activity to complete. You have until Friday to do it. I want you to create your own mini story, your scale as Gaeilge. I want you to take a photo of you and your family sa seomra sí. Use yesterday's story and the phrases you've learned during home learning to help you create your story. Record your story and send a video on your Class Dojo portfolio. Senior infants, I want you to be able to say at least 4 sentences to describe your photo. And first class, I'd like you to write and read at least 6 sentences. 6 abertí. On the next slide, I'll show you more how to do that. So, inniu tá pictiúr nua agam. So, féach an pictiúr buacailí agus chalíní. Arís. Bhí na páistí sa seomra sí. Níl siad ina sí an talamh. Bhí siad ina sí an talamh. Bhí daddy agus mommy ina sí an gcathaoir. Bhí cluiche clór an mórd. Bhí siad ag suagra. So remember, boys and girls, I want you to have your story and your photo ready to send in to me by tomorrow. I can't wait to hear all your wonderful Irish. Next up, boys and girls and senior infants, we are going to correct yesterday's story of 9. So the number we're doing is 9 and one more than 9 is 10. So we should have 10 different ways to make 9. So remember to write them down in a list going vertically downwards. And remember, boys and girls, when we're writing our number sentences, we skip a box across before starting the number sentence. So as always, I'll start with 0. 0 plus 9 equals 9. I swap my number pair around and that gives me 9 plus 0 equals 9. Next, number 1. 1 plus 8 equals 9. When I swap that around, it gives me 8 plus 1 equals 9. Next, number 2. 2 plus 7 equals 9. When I swap that around, it gives me 7 plus 2 equals 9. Next, my number 3. 3 plus 6 equals 9. And when I swap that around, it gives me 6 plus 3 equals 9. Next number is 4. 4 plus 5 equals 9. And when I swap that around, finally, it gives me 5 plus 4 equals 9. So well done, boys and girls. I'm seeing such marvelous math stories from all of you. Finally, today, I want you to revise your story of 10 by watching these 2 videos. And then, just like we've been doing all week, I want you to write your story of 10. First class, it's time to correct yesterday's maths homework. So again, I'm going to start by making sure I have my T and U on top of the correct place for my double-digit numbers. This will help me when I'm adding. When I'm adding or taking away, I will always start with my unit side. So first up, 7 plus 8 is 15, but I can only write one digit in each box. So I have to regroup my 10 from 15 and write it on the line underneath my T on the 10th side. Now I'm ready to add my tens. 4 plus 3 is 7, and my one more 10 is 8. 8 tens and 5 units is 85. Again, starting adding on my unit side, 5 plus 9 is 14. I write down my 4 underneath my U, and I regroup my 110 and write it on the line on my 10 side. Now I can add my tens. 3 plus 2 is 5, and one more is 6. That gives me 6 tens. 6 tens and 4 units is 64. Here, 8 units plus 6 units is 14. Once again, writing down my 4 of the units and regrouping my 110 to the 10 side. 4 tens plus 4 tens is 8 tens, and one more 10 is 9 tens. So 9 tens and 4 units is 94. So next up, boys and girls, you are going to be continuing on with your regrouping addition, and these are the final 3 sums that I want you to do this week. Remember that everything that I've shown you so far. Okay, boys and girls, so now it's time for our mental maths, opening up page 43 of your Work It Out. Number 1, what plus 10 equals 16? Number 2, what plus 10 equals 15? Number 3, what plus 10 equals 10? Number 4, what plus 10 equals 17? Number 5, what plus 10 equals 12? Number 6, 5 cent, 10 cent, 2 cent and 10 cent is how much cent? Number 7, create a subtraction number sentence by examining the picture below. Number 8, 10 is 6 less than, 10 is 6 less than, tricky one, boys and girls. Number 9, finish the pattern. Number 10, show 75 on your notation board. Number 11, which box is lighter, A or B? Number 12, how many faces does this 3D shape have? Number 13, the bus is left of the tree or the bus is right of the tree? Number 14, the car is on the left or the right? Finally, number 15, 10 take away 2 is the same as 5 plus what? Okie doke, so boys and girls. Number 1, 6 plus 10 equals 16. Number 2, 5 plus 10 equals 15. Number 3, 0 plus 10 equals 10. Number 4, 7 plus 10 equals 17. And number 5, 2 plus 10 equals 12. Here I'm going to add my 10 cents first, so 10 and 10 is 20, 5 more is 25, and 2 more than that is 27 cents. Here I have 2, 4, 6, 8, and 9. I have 9 circles. I took 2 away, and that leaves me with 7. 9 take away 2 equals 7. Here, number 8, 10 is 6 less than 10 is 6 less than The answer, boys and girls, is 16. That's a bit of a tricky concept, so we'll be going over a lot of those types of questions next week in class. Number 9, finish the pattern. Circle, triangle pointing upwards, triangle pointing downwards, circle, triangle pointing upwards, triangle pointing downwards, circle, triangle pointing upwards, triangle pointing downwards. Here again, I've got my T and U, my double digit number, and I've got 5 units, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 7 tens, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Which is lighter? Well, the lighter one will be high in the sky, and that is box A. Number 12, a sphere has one curved face. Number 13, the bus is left or right of the tree? Well, it's on the right. Number 14, the car is on the left of the tree. And here, 10 take away 2 is 8. So what do I need to add to 5 to make it 8? The answer is 3. Give yourself a sad face, fine face, or happy face, and a score out of 15, boys and girls. So boys and girls in senior infants, before we start our reading today, I want us to recap on yesterday's questions. So question 1, where do they play sports in school? So I'm looking for places. And they play sports in school in the school hall and the yard too. Question 2, what can you do to help you run faster? You can pump your arms to help you run faster. Question 3, what are 3 rhyming words in the rhyme on page 7? Low, slow, and go. Question 4, what do you have to get when you start a sport? Well, you usually have to get some bits of a kit when you start a sport. Finally, number 5, where can you get these things that you need? You can get them in a sport shop. Now, boys and girls, I want you to read the rest of the book out loud to somebody in your family. Next up, boys and girls in senior infants, you are going to be reading your non-fiction reader, which means it's all about information and facts, sports. Words that are going to be in this book are sports shop and team, T-E-M, team. Say it with me, sports shop, team. There's going to be tricky words, could and should in the story. Read it with me. Could and should. Okay, so I want you to read the cover up to page 8 out loud now to somebody in your family. So finally, boys and girls, now that you've finished reading your book, we're going to have some after reading questions. And I want you to go back and look at the book and tell your family some of the different sports that were photographed. Question 2. I want you to go back to look at page 4 and 5. Are the children on these pages enjoying the race? How do you know? Finally, I want you to look at page 8 and 9. What area of the sports shop are the customers in? Hope you enjoyed the book, boys and girls.